So in this particular problem, we're going to be talking about literal equations. Literal equations are just like equations, except we're balancing with unlike variables. So you might have x's, y's, z's, different letters in the same problem. Realize you won't get like an answer like x equals 10 or x equals a number. It's going to be like x equals y plus 5 or something weird like that. Alright, so in this particular problem, we're solving for y. Now, before you do anything, you should identify how many terms there are. So in this case, we have 7 terms. Again, a term is separated by addition and subtracting. Now, we're looking for y, so you want to identify the number of y terms. So there's basically 3 terms that contain the letter y. Alright, now your goal is to get all the variable we're looking for on the same side. So we have to move all the y terms to the same side. So I like to move my y's to the left, or the variable I'm looking for to the left, and everything else to the right. Okay? Now remember, you move things by adding or subtracting. Alright, so in this case we're going to draw the balance line. Well, we've got, again, locate the 3 y terms, 2, and we got our balance line. So this 1y, that negative y, is on the wrong side. So I have to move that negative y to the other side by plus y. Now I have a choice of whether or not to add the y to the 2xy or the 5y. Put it under 5y because that's the same type of, it's just a y. Alright, so you put it together, 5 and 1 makes 6. Alright, then we rewrite everything else. Now we're at a place where we have, we're down to 6 terms. Now we want to move the terms that don't have a y to the opposite side. So that negative 13 is on the wrong side. So we've got a plus 13. Again, we could add it to any of those terms. I would add it to the plus 10 because those are the same type. They're just plain old numbers. So now we rewrite 2xy plus 6y equals negative 3z plus 2xz, and then 10 and 13 make 23. Alright, so now the y terms are on the left, and everything that's not a y is on the right. So now we move on. Now in this case, it's a little tricky because you have 2 y terms, but we can't put them together. So this is where you have to pull out a GCF. This is like the distributive property in reverse. So when I pull out a y, I'm left with a 2x and a positive 6. Alright, mentally always check to make sure if you redistributed, it would give you what you started with. Alright, and that's pulling out the GCF, the greatest common factor. Now the final step, again, we've got y almost by itself, so it's multiplied by that whole quantity, 2x plus 6. So the opposite of multiplication is division. So now you divide by that whole quantity, which is 2x plus 6. So your final answer, again, those cancel out. So we're left out with y equals negative 3z plus 2xz plus 23 all over 2x plus 6. Okay, and that's, again, a literal equation won't give you a numerical answer. It's going to be kind of tricky like that.